Hey, what's up everyone? My name is Nate. I am co-founder and head brewer at Treehouse, and today I have the distinct pleasure to introduce you to our coffee team. We are going to take you behind the scenes for the first time and show you the hard work that they do, and we are going to release a very special coffee we've been working on for almost 2 years. Sit back and enjoy.
My name's Adam Bonacorsi, and I'm the Specialty Coffee Products Manager at Treehouse. We roast multiple coffees. We have a handful of core blends and a bunch of rotating single origin coffees that we buy throughout the season. We focus primarily on coffees from Central and South America. We first started with our house blend, which is a very approachable milk chocolate, caramel-based type of coffee. We don't use any additives in our coffee. It's all through the roasting process and our sourcing. It first starts at origin with a producer or farmer who grows the coffee. From there, the coffee then gets harvested. Really good quality coffee is grown very high up in the mountains at altitudes between 1,500 to 2,000 meters above sea level. We have our roasting team, which is headed by Dave Marcotte.
We're very proud to roast our own coffee, not just getting it from a multi-roaster or like buying it from somewhere else. We keep everything in-house.
Roasting is a super fascinating experience. You're starting with green coffee that at its core tastes like nothing but is filled with a ton of potential. And to get that potential out, you need to introduce heat.
Once the beans are dropped, there's about 3 steps you go through with the roast. The first 4:30, 5 minutes is called the drying process. The next process is the Maillard, which is usually starts around like 320 degrees. Maillard is like chemical reaction, basically getting beans ready to crack. So once they're building up all of that energy, the third step is called the first crack, or where the development starts. That's where you start developing, going from like a light roast to a dark roast. And then we usually drop coffee anywhere from like 415 degrees, darker roast 448, 450 degrees.
The roasting team focuses on the roast profiles of the coffee, how we are deciding to roast each coffee to bring out a particular flavor profile. That roasting process is bringing out aromatics and acidities and sugars in the coffee, which is what you taste in your final cup. Every roast we evaluate the next day through cupping to make sure that our profiles and coffees are hitting the quality that we want. We also bring new samples in and sample roast them and cup to evaluate the actual coffee itself to see if it fits within our program.
With Treehouse being exceptional at canning, we had no choice but to can our coffee and to make it into cold brew. The cold brew department is its own entity at this point. I roast sometimes 400, 800 pounds of coffee just for them.
Most of the industry uses immersion style for their cold brew extraction. Here at Treehouse, we think that the better method is the Kyoto style of brewing, which is effectively passing cold water through a coffee bed.
Most people use around like a freezing cold water. We have all different ranges of brewing temperature that we use just for different profiles of coffee, lighter roast, darker roast.
We control the flow rate of the water being dispersed through this coffee bed. This leads to us being able to isolate and extract in a way that we can see the chemical shift from the start of the extraction to the finish. As far as I know, no one is doing Kyoto style brewing to this scale with our method. Pretty early on, we were not able to produce enough to meet demand, so that's why we had to build our own. But we actually converted an unused grain silo into our new brewer, fabricated it in-house for this objective.
During the brewing process, we actually do a fractional testing. So we'll taste the first part of the brew, and then we'll taste throughout the brew.
We're actually brewing in cuts, so we can effectively see the distribution of extraction as we're going. So we can see the difference in compounds and how that flavor profile shifts. We dial this into every coffee we do. Every origin will have a different set of parameters that we're looking to dial in to pull out a very specific flavor profile. Being at Treehouse, we have the advantage of having access to equipment that most coffee roasteries would not. So one thing for us that is a big quality step is being able to control our dosing of liquid nitrogen into cans. Liquid nitrogen expands 7 times its volume as it expands from liquid to gas. So as we dose into these cans, we are expelling all atmospheric air, and we are sealing the can with nitrogen to maintain freshness. We can also nitrogenate our cold brews using this method, so we can give a creamier, smoother brew for the consumer. Our core offerings are blends, looking for certain attributes that we find to be like the foundation of our program. For us, our single origin series is really exciting because we can look at the innate bean and the flavor profiles that are present within it, and we can build our extraction protocol to accentuate and pull out the best of that character.
What sets us apart is we are really looking at the core ingredient, the bean, and trying to source the best beans that we can. It all starts with relationships and good green processing at the farm level. We have a relationship with Pablo and Eva Del Cid in Guatemala. They came to us a couple of years ago. Pablo is a young farmer. I liked his story. I trusted him, and his coffee was amazing. We slowly started building a relationship to the point now where we've been able to release our coffee Estrellita. Last year, we were discussing some of the challenges that he had on his farm, and one of them was processing, and he really wanted to have his own wet mill to process some of the smaller lots of coffee. Through a lot of discussion, we decided to purchase a wet mill for him, eco-friendly wet mill that uses very little water, which we thought was incredibly important as well. It has really helped his operation become more efficient and give him more control of his process. Estrellita means little star in Spanish. We named it Estrellita in honor of Pablo's son Enzo. We're looking to build family into our brand as much as possible.
Adam brought some very special guests today, Pablo and Eva. We're happy to have
Thank you.
It's really good. Wow.
Estrellita.
you. Oh, really?
Yeah.